Welcome everyone to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing. Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
All claps abound. Well, welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast.
Let's do it again.
Coming to you from the I Am Renton space in beautiful and historic downtown Renton, boys, episode 89.
Wow.
If you can believe it. It's almost 90. It's like almost, not quite 90, but almost. It's as close as you can get, right? Tonight's safe word, boys, is war elephant.
War elephant. Okay.
So if anybody's feeling unsafe, just yell out war elephant. Apparently, way back at the start of the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln had to politely reject an offer of war elephants from the King of Siam. The guy actually, Rama IV, otherwise known as Manga, I think is how you pronounce it.
Okay.
He sent a letter. It was addressed to President James Buchanan, who Lincoln took over for. But it was, hey, we hear you got a little Civil War action going on. We'd be happy to send you over some elephants to help you out with this. So, I mean, it's been kind of crazy to think, right?
Okay, now I have to back because I don't know enough about Indian history, but what did the elephants do in war?
Well, I think it was mostly to carry equipment and stuff.
Oh, so they
So, well, if you're like, I don't know if that's a middle word, but animal used elephants, right?
Yeah, so it's not like the animals in like Wakanda where they had them all like decked out in armor and spikes.
I don't know.
That's what I was thinking.
I wouldn't think otherwise.
If you're some Johnny Reb, in a trench somewhere, friggin'
Yeah, with cannons and that's the thing.
it's a little different.
Did they have, was it still black powder? Did they have smokeless cartridges? Yeah, they did.
It was like the earliest smokeless cartridge,
Oh.
right?
Wow.
The single shot rifles, and you have to still kind of line up.
And there's still a lot of stabby.
Stabby. Everyone had swords, right? So they politely declined. He and Secretary of State William Seward declined this offer from afar. Lincoln points out in his reply this, like, we kind of got steam power now, so we don't really need the elephants. So what if, right? If it accepted,
Like, would you like deck it up with like fucking spikes or guns mounted to it or something?
You would turn it into a horsepower type.
just a
Or just like a battery ram, or have it
like
like.
a team of oxen, right? If one elephant equals, 1.5 oxen or something, right? So whatever that is,
Until the elephants like has had enough of your shit and decides to kill everyone around it.
You start trampling through. Yeah, I mean, you don't know because of the guns,
What
right?
I heard the other day was that humans were going to clone a man willing to eat down for food.
You just heard that the other they've been trying to.
It's like nobody eats elephants.
Yeah.
So who's eating elephant?
Right, yeah.
Why would you eat a woolly man?
I mean, that's a lot of meat. I think the reason why we don't eat elephants is because they're endangered, aren't they? I mean, any of them.
Yeah, elephants.
I don't think people hunt them for meat.
There's like
I just know
Asian and African are I think the only two that are still around, right?
Indian African.
Indian. Okay.
Indians have the small
I
ears.
know it's Indian.
Africans have the giant ears.
I remember seeing a story years ago that I think it may have been a bullshit story, but it was still funny nonetheless. And the teacher was teaching the kids about animals, and African elephants was one of the ones they were talking about. The kid goes, "A freaking elephant, a freaking." Goes, no. What are you talking about? Like it says right here, a freaking elephant.
Yes. I mean, he's not wrong. It's just emphasis.
African to a freaking.
There's no space.
I don't know. We talked about this the other day where a kid had done something really neat and gotten buffalo as a gift.
Yes, he was the gold medal winner, or medal winner in the Olympics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mentioned that also from the Cyan, that was that type of gesture as well.
Yeah.
But these are very, useful.
Yeah.
And you can, I guess you can mate them with other animals, and you're able to get like offspring to sell, right? Is that how it works, or what do they do with those?
Two elephants, yeah.
I mean, but I'm just
I don't know,
saying
maybe it's not understood.
I'm saying the kid got that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, if you have a super
Because they like
steamboat.
the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that's how you make, because it's like, you're not gonna harvest it for meat, because that's only one time.
Yeah.
Well,
I actually heard someone say this the other day, and I think they were trying to fool themselves. They were saying how the only kind of meat they will willingly eat is bacon because it doesn't hurt the animal. What do you mean it doesn't hurt the animal?
Did they shed? They shed bacon.
If only that were true, right?
I think it's a reference to a TV show or something like that. Yeah, they were like, yeah, no, they pull it off the back of the animal. It's okay, the animal's fine. No, it's not. They killed that animal. They didn't do that.
They're all throughout life, like, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. It's people like, but except for bacon.
Yeah.
I mean, I said this before, but I actually, when I was at one of my former jobs, we used to have like a bring your own, what's the word for it, when you bring food to a potluck, thank you. But I had a potluck for our monthly meetings, and somebody always brought something wrapped in bacon, and one person didn't eat bacon for whatever the reason was, I don't remember, but I don't understand why you guys love bacon so much. And all I can say was, if you've never had bacon, I can't explain it to you.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like falling in love.
except
How do you explain that to someone who hasn't experienced it?
you're kind of not wrong. Bacon is like lemon. It's
It's sweet and salty.
sweet and salty, and
Crunchy.
eventually it will kill you.
Yeah.
So,
Stop.
Oh my God. Speaking of bacon, did you guys see the debate? Did you guys watch the debate?
I listened to it. I can hear the eye rolls, but I think.
I kind of checked that about halfway through. I was scrolling on my phone, but I was listening, and every time he opened his mouth, I'm like, oh my God, shut the fuck up!
Yeah, she totally just figured it out. So, because she can figure it out, and remember, he says that she's not smart, not capable, so she outsmarted him easily. But you're telling me, hasn't?
Yes, yeah.
Really? A master?
Yeah.
A master at human manipulation. Master of such things.
Yeah, and it's you probably didn't see this, but she walked across the stage to shake his hand, as you should do,
Yeah.
right? And he tried to avoid her.
A little bit.
But he tried to avoid her, ducked into the behind the podium, where it was clear that she kind of had to stop and veer around, and she went to him and offered her his hand, as opposed to him, like, look at me, I'm the big man, thing. And it was like, from then on, it was like, oh, she's got this. Right. So, I mean,
He's just like an obstinate toddler. He's just like, fuck you guys, take my ball and go home.
Well, you just have to quit taking him seriously.
I never did take it serious.
I just,
I don't know,
the stuff that was coming out, the best moments, besides the Haitians eating cats and dogs, which was completely disproven all the way around, had to call him on it. But the other one was, they said, you started running in like 2016, and you kept talking about this healthcare plan that was going to be better than Obamacare, better than the ACA, and you didn't do anything your 4 years as a president, and now you're a candidate again. Can you tell us, do you have a plan, and what's in that plan?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, we got a plan.
Concept of a plan.
Concept of a plan. I mean, that's going to go down in history.
That's
as
great.
one of the biggest.
Let's get the fancy tattoos. But it will misspell like plan.
Concept of a plan. That's gonna, I mean, that right there, right? Nothing else said, he loses on that. So he had every opportunity, and there's some truth to what Republicans are saying about Harris. She's got all these great ideas, well, why didn't you implement them 4 years ago?
Well, because she wasn't president.
Well, that and
And she was waiting for her time. 100%, because that's what she was just saying.
She's
Rubbing
walking
it
that,
up.
she's
You know,
walking that
it's-
tightrope between, hey, I can't do anything because it's Biden, and I can't say anything bad about us.
No,
Right, so she's
exactly.
got that tightrope, and she did it really well.
I think so.
So, I don't know, and she looked like she was having fun up there after a while.
And once she knew that she had it figured out.
Oh, yeah.
But still, it's like, she's pandering, you know, and the whole fracking thing is like, come on. We are producing right now, more oil
Than we ever.
than ever, and the most on the planet.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
including Saudi,
Yes.
UAE, et cetera.
And
It's like,
yes, the inflation rates are high, everybody admit it.
Yeah.
Prices are up, but you know what? The US economy is the best economy in the world right now today, and it has been for the last 4 years. The best economy in the world.
I'd say sure.
Everybody else is reeling from the same stuff.
Yeah.
America is not as bad off as everybody else. Could it be better? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to these corporations and tell them.
You know, the National Democrats have not seen the writing on the wall that allowed for this big populism to come about, right? The push for illiberalism, right,
Mhm.
et cetera. It's like, they just pretended that wasn't there, right, at the road of peril, so.
Did you guys see that clip yesterday from the Daily Show? Jordan Klepper was interviewing people. I think the video's from a few years back, but he was asking this guy, and he goes, "What I want to know is where was Obama during 9/11?"
He wasn't even a U.S. senator at that point.
Yeah.
He goes, "During 9/11? That's what you want to know where he was." "Yeah, we need to find out where he was."
What he was doing.
When he
Well,
was,
he was, well,
was
maybe
like
he's
air traffic
directing the plane.
he wasn't doing his. Basically,
I don't know.
he was
And the whole
implying.
9/11 thing is,
He was implying that
Not to be forgotten.
Obama was in charge and wasn't doing his job.
yeah, that's insane. Because-
Funny as shit, right?
Yeah, so one meeting
Yeah,
that I
remember
saw.
how horrible George W. was?
Yes.
Oh, things
Cheney.
changed. Possibly,
Cheney.
it was just awful.
And now
Just
Cheney's
awful.
endorsing
Oh my
the Harris
God.
campaign.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, what? What Twilight Zone?
Yeah, I don't wanna be on the same side as fucking Dick Cheney.
But I agree with
swear to
his
God.
sentiments, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
He sees
Trump
it.
is dangerous
Too
for
much.
America.
It's too much.
Yeah. But there was one meme that I saw, I think I told Todd this too, and I saw this sort of encapsulated the whole thing. And it was that Trump paid Stormy $130,000 to spank him, and Kamala Harris did it last night for free. Oh, boy.
But she's still, I mean, really obviously pandering for, not centrist Democrats, but for leftist Republicans,
Yes.
right, I guess.
Well,
You know what I mean, kind of centrist Republicans.
independent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
you've got those pocketbook suburban moms, right? That want, to know that their country's safe, that prices are low, but they also don't want people coming in and messing with their abortions, right? These white women, upper middle class, that's, kind of the,
Where
let me
exactly?
narrow it down. They're all over, Mike. They're in the suburbs.
Yeah, it's
Not
not
Renton.
my demographic, never went on it.
No, we got suburbs in Renton. They got
Factory.
Cascade.
No, what is Newport?
Yeah.
They live
But I mean,
in
and we are like a vast citizenry, and we
We
need to have,
Yeah.
open dialogues about a lot of these things, right?
You said this a lot, Mike, that the Democratic Party is the Big Ten party.
No, for sure.
So, and it's hard to,
It's very difficult.
it's really hard to pander to
Yeah.
that
If we don't just all walk at the same rate, you know what I mean? It's like, so of course that's more difficult, but it's way more valuable.
the same shit that works for the far right doesn't work for the
No.
far left.
Well,
You can't-
if
you
you
can't
go
use
far enough,
stereotypes.
kids and cousins, right?
Yeah. But you can't make just bold blanket statement and have it fit, like Todd's saying, have it fit for like the entire party.
Yeah.
With the Democrats, you gotta be careful, because you can go too far, you're gonna.
Oh, yeah, no matter what you do, you're gonna, well,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna be annoyed, because it's a huge tent.
It's a huge.
You know what I mean? It's like, and that's just how that is. But, so it's kind of a utilitarianism, where you get the most benefit for the most people.
Yeah.
Right? That's the best we can hope for as mortal creatures.
If the Democratic Party is a huge tent, does that mean that the Republican Party is a porta potty?
Nice.
It's a porta potty that's been dumped over.
That's why they're.
It's a pushed over honey bucket, that's what it is.
But speaking of Big Ten guys, Taylor Swift, 27 minutes after the debate, came out and endorsed the Harris Walls campaign, which I think she's probably been planning for a while. She said she made up her mind, watching the debate, sent out a tweet, and that's great. But everybody was like, is she going to? Is she not? She didn't come out and support Biden in the last elections. But everybody's like, and then of course all the right-wing talking heads jumped on. Oh, why is this billionaire that has no concept of what it's like to live as a common man, as a common person, and has servants and yes men, and doesn't do her own grocery shopping, and has a private jet?
Oh my God.
How is she gonna tell us? There's just a teensy bit of irony there.
Oh my God. That's just a cheesy. That's someone just dumping a bucket of irony over their head, like the ice bucket challenge.
The Gatorade bucket. Yes.
Or more accurately, the bucket of slime from you can't do that on television. And everyone says, I don't know, they get the slime dumped on
Yes.
their head.
Yeah, I mean, I don't tend to go with celebrity endorsements.
I know
I
you
do. If I think the person is smart and they give a thoughtful reason for why they're endorsing an idea or a person or whatever, then I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll listen to it. I'm not going to base, but the one thing that announcement did was, I think immediately there was like 391 or 691, some crazy number of brand new voter registrations immediately proceeding for.
Good.
Oh, no.
So I made her.
And Gen Z is the largest voting bloc. Potential, sorry.
Potential.
Oh.
Yeah.
Potential for 40 million Americans are Gen Z.
Yes.
Oh, of 18 or above.
Capture a third of them. Capture a quarter of
It's
that.
a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. Jesus. Man,
Great. That's all we need.
well, speaking of this great country of ours, boys, somebody found a really rare document in a desk. It was a desk that was owned by Samuel Johnston, who was a governor of North Carolina in 1787 to 1789.
1787? No.
It is a original copy of the Constitution of the United States.
Wow.
And it was found in a filing cabinet in a room in this guy's farmhouse. I don't know who owns it now, but it was a room that was just sort of like unused, and apparently it was in this old filing cabinet. There's a bunch of chairs piled in the room like it was an unused storage room. And somebody located this thing a couple of years ago, and they pulled it out, and they're like,
What's
what is this? And so what happened is, way back when they first wrote up the Constitution, Charles Thompson printed 100 original copies of it. And those copies were sent out to like all the states.
And they were printed?
And they were printed.
Okay.
Printed. And they were sent out to all the states to take a look at and to ratify and all that stuff. And this copy, they think, was sent to North Carolina, and this governor got his hands on it and kept it all these years. And now it's been found. They're going to put it up for auction because it's the only one of
Let's go, boys.
8. No,
Oh, man. That's
only
big.
one that's a
It's
private.
from 1787.
So
That's early stuff.
If they're gonna auction it off, who do you think is gonna try to get it? Do you think like Kiss or something?
And Nicolas Cage!
Oh my God!
You're right, isn't that?
Oh my God! He could be the one auctioning off.
Right?
That would be badass. That would be badass. Yes.
The country. And he's kicking himself. He had to, go through lasers and shit. It's like this was sitting in a cabinet.
In a cabinet.
In a bar.
And John Boyd's like, if this kid, oh, it's real.
Yeah, I guess it's been folded, but it opens up and you can put it on the table and all that stuff.
That's
But yeah, so they're gonna start the auction in a minute. They think it could fetch as high as something million. But come on, Cage, you got that kind of
Do
dough.
you
Hey,
think
that kind of down.
do you think any of the big Republican people or the MAGA people are gonna try to buy it?
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They'll only care about one thing. Yeah.
They just want to disrespect it. I would love for it to end up in a museum.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But if Cage wanted to buy it and display it until he dies and then donate it to the Smithsonian.
Have it in his foyer at his house.
Right next to the T-Rex head.
Right, yeah.
Didn't he have like a T-Rex?
I don't
He
know.
did, he did.
Johnny
In fact-
delivered one once.
In fact, he actually answered this question in an interview recently after that movie with the Mandalorian came out, and I can't remember that guy's name, Pedro Pascal. So yeah, he said, yeah, it's true that you had like a real like T-Rex skeleton in your house. And it was the head, but yeah, I didn't have the whole skeleton. I just had the head.
The skull. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that is worth, but he went through some bankruptcy.
I think he sold a lot of his possessions to kind of pay off his IRS bill.
I don't know what that's like. Well, speaking of having to pay people off, Trump held a press conference last week. This is a story from last week. But he held a press conference and he was talking about all the criminal cases and all the appeals that he's filing. And he was flanked by his entire legal team. They were all behind him. And during the press conference, he basically said, "I'm disappointed in my legal talent, to be honest with you." Did you see this?
No.
Right in front of his attorneys that are standing.
I'm sure it's going to motivate them to use better words.
Oh, really? Prosecution?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God. It's
Have you, his niece is on social media, and she talks a lot of shit about him.
is that the?
No, I but debate. Yeah, he's like that. All of these cases talk about how they weaponize the justice system against them. It's just absolute nonsense. But it's not just
Isn't that what the
nonsense.
justice system's supposed to
But it
do?
makes millions of people
Yes.
suspect because they believe what he says.
But here's
That's
the
the
thing.
trouble. You
Here's
know.
the thing. The prosecutors can't do anything. They have to bring it in front of the grand jury.
Yeah.
And that grand jury, 12 or 15 members, whatever it is, have to decide, yes, there's enough there to make an indictment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they could bring charges all day long, but if a grand jury's like, no, there's nothing there. I mean,
And that's just an indictment, right? But not all of these, in fact, most of them are federal. So really, that's not for me to test. They're not leaning on every.
oh, but
You know what I
tell
mean?
you that,
Oh, yeah, it's just nonsense.
yeah.
That way he can dismantle any system that would be a check against his power.
Biden's too old, senile, and Harris is too dumb, but they're able to weaponize their masterminds.
Just like that.
You can't have both, folks. You can't be dumb and mastermind at the same time.
Well, I guess if you're like Dr.
I mean, committing stupidity is not the same thing.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, not people was born with an inventor, right? Didn't he invent stuff? Or did he?
Was he even that yet?
Well, but
I think he just hired her.
he's a weird.
Heinous looking rocket.
Seriously though, Dr. Evil is in my mind is
So
wrong.
dumb.
He's-
So good.
I mean, the voice is Mike Myers' impression of Lorne Michaels, but I think the character of Dr. Evil is legitimately Trump. I mean, he's always trying to like be this great thing, but he's a complete utter failure every single time.
Getting off of politics, speaking of evil, actually, this is not bad. It's bad to say evil, because this guy was immensely talented and was in so many things.
Ruined my day.
Most famously for our generation, of course, was Darth Vader. James Earl Jones.
I mean, he was Simba's dad too. And
Simba's dad.
he was the voice of CNN for like a decade.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Oh, yes.
This is CNN.
Yes.
So good. Oh, you know what? It just, and I mean, he was on Twilight Zone. It's like, oh, yeah. Folsom Dune is
Yes.
Field of Dreams,
magnificent.
right?
Oh.
He's in Field of Dreams.
He's in Field of Dreams.
And Sandlot. So there's two baseball games.
Well, that's right. He was the grumpy old guy.
He was the guy that had the scary dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't grumpy. He was, you know, just don't stay out of my yard.
Yeah.
Because the dog was like
Yeah.
big and scary.
But yeah, I mean, just a mountain of a talented person. Right.
Great
Just-
career.
Yes.
Did you guys hear though? Like a couple of years ago, he did this. He actually, like right before the Obi-Wan series came out, he had, knowing that he was, you know, going to be retiring soon, you know, wasn't going to be working anymore. He sold the rights to his voice to Disney. Saying, do whatever you want with my voice. You have
Has Darth Vader on.
I think it's just for Vader, but I
Oh, it's Simba.
Mufasa, yeah. But yeah, they used a digital AI voice for Vader in the Obi-Wan series. That was not him doing that voice.
Oh, so it already started.
Yeah, so they basically what they did, they took all the archive footage from him doing Vader and whatever else for Disney and put it into a computer.
Instead of putting on
Oh yeah, like the There I Ruined It. Yeah. But no, so
Make it hip for the kid.
when you watch the Obi-Wan series, know that was not Hayden Jones doing the voice of Vader. That was Peter.
Did he go and just record like a bunch of different words?
No.
Or they're just taking archive?
They just take archive footage and run it through the computer.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the deepfake thing where they run footage through the computer and then they can take the footage that they've got into the database and then use that to create new dialogue.
I wonder if he's like the first person to actually authorize.
Him
Sell it and authorize.
and Bruce,
Frank Dresser.
Die Hard, Bruce.
Bruce Willis did the same thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Huh.
I don't really think of Bruce Willis for his voice necessarily.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily his voice, I think it's his likeness.
Oh, that makes sense. So then they can use like archive footage. or they can
Archive
do,
footage.
Like the overlay.
The deepfake.
Bruce Willis filmed it.
Deepfake, you know, they use his face over somebody else's body.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did with Mark Hamill in The Mandalorian, which they've gotten better with that. That one was not
That was a
great.
little creepy.
No, but it was a really cool
And
scene.
it was
so
a great scene,
I
but
didn't care.
the graphics of his face looked so fake.
Yeah.
Because the whole build up to that, there's people looking up top,
Yeah.
but to that fight scene, because it's the dark super duper troopers,
The dark
right?
troopers,
Oh, they're just gnarly. Oh, they're kicking ass, everybody's doomed. But
And he
then,
just comes to the rescue and
so good.
and crushes him
So good.
like a beer can on his forehead. It was
So
great.
good.
I don't know about you guys, but I was like, is that Luke? Oh my God! And I'm cheering for him while I'm watching this in my room.
Yeah. They're gonna use Bruce Willis as a hologram in a reboot of the movie or something.
Nice.
I mean, so much
Jeffrey's still around, right?
Yeah, he could, just be Ghost.
Yeah, I think he authorized like his likeness and his voice, I think, for whoever, I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah.
Because they had that movie with what's his face where it was a Looper where
Yeah, with,
Oh, yeah.
played
The younger version, and he had like the really bad
It was
prosthetics.
okay. It was
It was
okay.
a good movie, but the prosthetics looked goofy.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, that was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, something like that, I guess. Huh. I mean, anybody wants to pay for our
And isn't it like, oh, yeah.
Our voices?
$10 for the pack of smokes, bro.
Well, and the app on my phone is CapCut, which is an app for people that do like social media videos, like on TikTok and whatever else. And you can text a voice on there, and one of the things you can do is you can record a sample of your voice, and then you can have.
That's what you did with your dad.
Yeah, I can tell
you.
you. Well, that was using a different thing entirely.
Oh.
This, you have to read a specific paragraph on this app, and then it will burn your voice. And then you can type in whatever you want to say and select your voice, and it will play the words type out in your voice.
That's
It
neat.
doesn't, it sounds like me, but it sounds like I'm half. I think I sound half asleep because I made it half asleep when I recorded it. But I think if I did a new version of it.
But once it's digitized and the technology gets better,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because,
It'll
just
be
like
more
a
seamless.
photo of your face, if you take a 10 megapixel photo of your face, and as technology gets better at defining what all those pixels are doing.
Well, there's a YouTube channel called The Corridor Crew. Look them up. They did some really cool deepfake videos where they did a shot-for-shot remake of that scene with Luke Skywalker on The Mandalorian. And they did a better version than Disney did.
Just a couple years later.
No, not a year later. Like within 6 months of that episode coming out, they did it. And they used the open source deepfake software. And all basically all they did was they took a bunch of archive footage of Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, and they put it in the computer. The computer learned all the different facial movements, and they also did it with the actors. So they put cameras in a room, and they just kept. I don't remember how it was like a motion thing, but they had like the lighting changed, so there's lights on different parts of the face, and so the computer learned all that stuff, and then they were able to figure out what shadows should be where when the face is being put onto somebody else's body. It was really cool. Yeah, but check it out, The Corridor Crew on YouTube.
Because there's like porn deepfakes that you hear about now, right? I mean, certain actors and actresses that'll have like their likeness digitized onto porn actresses' body, and it makes it look like they're starring in the sex tape.
But are they labeled as AI or is it?
At what point is that a crime?
I've heard about it because who was it that just came out and was talking about it?
Well, there was a thing recently of well, not the same thing with the woman in like Europe, her face is being used for all those Trump things. The mega stuff. But yeah, no, I've not heard of the deepfake porn. That'd be.
How much gay Trump porn do you think there is?
Should we start?
No.
I bet there's plenty.
I'm kidding.
I will bet plenty that there is plenty.
That is such a fucked up thing to do.
That is Rule 34 to its like
So
highest
frustrating.
degree.
Not to Trump.
Was it?
To take somebody's
revenge
intimately.
porn? No, it's not cool.
Hey, I mean,
It's criminal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
But the deepfakes.
It should be criminal.
Unless you
You're
sell
really
the
trying to
likeness
be
to them.
define those rules now.
Because they got James Earl Jones and so.
You willingly do it, say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to be around for much longer, and people enjoy my voice and things, so let's go ahead and use what you got.
It's a great way to take care of your family.
And exactly, all of the proceeds from them ever using his voice again is going to his kids and his grandkids.
Yeah, if he can get it written like that, because he's got one of the best voices of all time.
Did you know that he had a stutter when he was growing up? And that's why he speaks the way he does, because he's trying to enunciate everything he says, so he didn't stutter.
Just a great voice, right? It's almost like, and it's better than like, we always talk about Morgan Freeman doing stuff, but I think even better, because it's so deep.
Oh, yeah,
rich.
God, can you imagine if Morgan Freeman was to do like an impression of James Earl Jones?
The world would just explode. It'd be too much riz.
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah.
God.
James Earl Jones. Let's go.
No, he's great. Huh. 93, great job. And he works late, right?
He was working up until I think a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's
I mean, up until he, like I said, he sold his rights to his voice to Disney, but he was working up until about then. Because he voiced Vader in Rogue One. He actually did that. So.
Well, speaking of 80s movies, boys, there's been rumors and
Forever.
a lot about this pre-show that there may be a Goonies sequel happening, and people are claiming that Sean Astin and stuff is putting stuff together, and he's got like Key and all those guys to look at it. But I don't know that we've heard anything official.
Before Goddard died, there were rumblings of them working on a sequel, but they couldn't find the right script.
Yeah.
And I kept running into like, oh, let's do this, and I'm like,
Did Richard Donner,
he was actually working on getting a
did he
script.
direct Goonies?
He did.
I did not know
He
that.
was in the movie too. He was one of the cops at the end.
What I'm hearing is that, who is it, Mikey, that Sean Astin?
Yeah.
Remembers that he hid some One-Eyed Willie's treasure somewhere, and, 30 years ago, or whatever it's been, 40 years ago, and they should go back and look for that treasure.
Oh yeah.
Makes sense, though.
I always thought it'd be cool if like the new movie would be like their kids, or at this point they're all in their 50s and 60s. You could be their grandkids are now looking for one with this treasure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Either one, they've got fun, and maybe they go together as, fathers and mothers and daughters and sons.
Honestly,
They're reintroduced. They're gonna make it a multiple film franchise.
Disney, not Disney, Netflix has a movie called Finding Ohana, and it's basically a Hawaiian Goonies movie. They don't call it Goonies movie, but when you watch it, like
It's
this
a
is
young person adventure movie.
they're looking for treasure. And Key is actually in that movie. He's like one of the adult friends.
How long ago there?
It was out like a year before the Everything All at Once.
That guy sure had a friggin' meteoric reintroduction to the world.
Right?
Uh,
Yeah, the one who played Data. Short
guy
Round.
that was in.
Short Round.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Disappeared for a while, did other things, and then just had this now he's like a
Loki.
Oscar winner and
Yeah.
Golden Globe, all that stuff.
Yeah, the guy from Everything Everywhere All.
Yeah.
Oh, he does a great job.
He had like one of the greatest acceptances. He was actually getting really emotional on stage. I saw a video of Corey Feldman watching him win the award, and he was crying. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe, congratulations.
I used to know that guy.
Yeah, because they've been in the business a long time.
He still has talent.
Oh, man. Well, every generation.
Feldman, come on this show.
Yeah.
We love it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh my God.
That would be awesome.
We would have a 3-hour show, a 4-hour show.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, I would be
Two-part episode, Corey. From
Yeah, no,
I do like his
So,
movies.
yeah.
Geez, we talked about this, and just a reminder, Todd and I got a chance to interview the guy that bought the Goonies house.
Yeah.
Got a chat with him about his plans for it. He is a huge Goonie, and has some great.
I mean, he's normal size, but he's a huge fan.
But he's a huge fan. So check it out and kind of figure out, listen and see what he's got going.
Yeah, no, it's a great interview.
He told us-
And he is enthusiastic.
Yes.
He was telling us how they were, he was in talks with, I think it was a Discovery.
Yeah, a couple of
Yeah,
HGTV.
yeah.
With the-
Have it on the
Yeah.
radar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good interview. boys.
Yeah, and they're still talking about doing
Yeah.
it, to make it look, again.
Can you just Photoshop me in?
Yes, we probably could. He did reach out to us because I forgot to send him a link, and Todd sent him a link to the interviews on YouTube and TikTok and whatnot. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, I'm so sorry, I should have got these to you sooner. By the way, anything with these rumors with the sequel, has he heard?
Yeah.
Because obviously they're going to do a sequel, and he would be over the moon, I think.
Oh, yeah, no, it would be everything, all the
Oh, my
reasons
God.
about that house.
Yes, exactly.
Would culminate. It's
He would be able to pay off the house.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh man.
That's
So
great.
I don't know. I mean, Goonies is a cool thing. It was a moment in time. It was kind of like a time capsule, just captured right there. But I think they could do a lot with it. And
Yeah,
all those actors, except for Mama. What's the guy?
Mama Fratelli, she died like 20 years ago.
I think she
30 years.
Dobby's still alive, and
Everybody else is still alive except for a daughter. But
I
yeah,
thought Joey Pants just passed.
no, he's still around.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, he was in the last season and a half.
Yeah, he's signed for
Tacoma
the Yankees,
FD.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was in the last couple seasons of Tacoma FD as like their dad.
Yeah, you talked about that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, so they could even have the family back, right? I don't know who the guy played.
Oh, the dad, Mike.
that played.
Oh yeah, Matusak. He died in the 80s.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. He died within a couple of years after that movie came out. Or early 90s. I mean, they could easily get somebody else. You know what? Put this prosthetic on William Johnson and have him. You know, like,
I was a buff dude, so yeah, it might not be so bad. Man, that would be could do a scene picture for where the ship went to. Was it escape down the ocean?
Yeah. I mean,
Sunk off.
would you guys be okay if they did just a reboot instead?
I'm tired of another reboots. I'd rather see the story
Continue, especially since there's still a lot. You know what I mean? At the very least, they can pass the torch to. Yeah. You remember what they did with the Ghostbusters thing?
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool.
Where it's like,
I don't think
you know what I mean?
Trump is not going to come back as he's no longer back.
Who?
Jeff Cohen, Billy Chuck,
Yeah.
he's an entertainment lawyer.
Yeah, but I mean, when you come back, it's
you can just do a phone thing.
cameo or something.
Yeah,
Just a quick-
Thanks for $5 million
Yes.
for
Smash a
7 minutes.
slice of pizza and a milkshake on the window.
Have him show up as an entertainment lawyer in the movie.
Nice.
I
Nice.
At
honestly,
the end, he's the lawyer. That
He's-
was in the same.
he is a massive hockey fan.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
I had him as a Facebook friend for a couple of years. He's really nice. You know, anytime he would post things about the house and the story, I'd comment and ask for cool things. Thanks, Jeff. You know, he's always nice.
Nice. So, I don't know. Either way, Goonies was a fun story for our generation, and my daughter liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think you guys. I think if you like the Goonies, you should check out Finding Ohana on.
Yeah, we'll check it
on Netflix.
I've heard of it, but I don't think
It
I
was-
watched it.
It was filmed in Hawaii.
Did it have a main star besides Key?
He's not like the main guy, but he's like one of the adult characters. But like the main person is like the granddad. You'll recognize him when you see him. I can't remember the actor's name, but
Is it a series or?
it's a movie.
It made for Disney Plus.
No, it's on Netflix.
Oh, it was on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's not a Disney product.
Oh, I thought it was Disney.
No.
Okay, so it was a made for Netflix movie.
I think it's a made for Netflix.
Okay.
But yeah, Finding Ohana. I know that Ohana, like, you think of like Lilo and Stitch, but
Yeah. Well, speaking of movie remakes, boys, Michael B. Jordan, Creed himself, is signed on to star and direct in a remake of the Thomas Crown Affair.
he was
I don't know
also
if you
the
guys-
Human Torch too.
Human Torch as well. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. I really like the original because I'm a big Steve McQueen fan. So he was in the original back in the
I think I saw the one from the
late 60s, early
90s.
70s, and then the 90s one
With Pierce Brosnan.
with
And,
James Bond himself.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And Renee, yes, she is. Yeah. Yes.
Very attractive person that she is. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be made.
That's a good role for her,
And
yeah.
I think so because it is kind of a bad guy James Bond, right?
Sure.
And not a super bad guy, but just super smart and suave.
And capable of making it through without like bloodshed.
Yes,
Right.
and does it for fun.
Yeah.
Right? At least the Pierce Brosnan version.
Oh, yeah.
He did it for
Right.
fun, right? Because he could.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because he was still looking for a thrill.
The thrill.
You know, a man who had everything.
Everything.
And we know that tale.
I know how that feels.
Yeah.
Here's a movie, boys. I don't know why. I don't know if this is an interesting enough subject, but Sony Pictures is attached Judd Apatow.
Judd.
Yes, that's what I said. To direct with Steven Spielberg producing Cola Wars. And it's going to be a movie about Pepsi versus Coke and the whole Pepsi challenge in the 80s.
Yeah, remember that.
It's like, is there enough there for a two? Now, I said that about the Michael Jordan sneaker movie that came out with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. And that has actually ended up being a pretty good movie, right? But I don't know. Coke versus Pepsi, is that interesting enough?
I don't know, maybe there's some.
I mean, maybe it will be a comedy and it will be fun to watch.
Maybe, I mean, Apatow is,
He is honestly.
Virgin or.
He is like the next generation of Spielberg, yes, because all of his movies are fantastically funny. You know, I think if Apatow was to get in with Spielberg, they could make some really cool, like retro movies.
And that's what this is?
but they're going after Coke. Yeah, Spielberg is producing these.
Oh, geez, all right, I think that's great.
So, I don't know, it just sounded, you know, I remember a lot. I remember doing Pepsi. Did you guys ever do Pepsi?
I did.
They give you crackers. It's
So good.
And I kept thinking Pepsi, and I'm like, you guys are lying.
Pepsi is sweeter, that's all I remember.
Yeah, I could, yeah. If I drink a Pepsi, I know it's a Pepsi.
Speaking of colas, I got 2 bottles yesterday. The Oreo Coke.
What?
Oreo flavored Coke Zero.
Yeah.
Zero? Yeah.
No sugar?
Yeah. How did they do it?
So what it tastes like is like vanilla Coke with a little bit of cream in it. No, it's not. It's legitimately not.
It's like a long weekend.
Honestly, it's best with rum.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. You know, it's a great.
What about a Jack? Well, Jack can do that.
But yeah, it's like vanilla with a little bit of cream. So that's what it tastes like. And it's not terrible, but it's not something. After I drank it, I was like, oh, it's Coke Zero. That's why it has a weird aftertaste. If I was to get the regular one, I think I'll probably enjoy it.
Oh, so they have it in both.
I think so. Yeah. I hope so. Yeah, Oreo Coke, and there's Coke Oreos as well. Yeah, I might have to try it. If I can find one that's not Coke Zero, I will try it again, but otherwise I'm not interested. Do anything for love that won't be bad.
Are you doing that? No. Speaking of Coke Zero, Jamie Lee Curtis won Emmy, Guest Actor Emmy, for Mike and I's favorite show. I wouldn't say favorite show, but The Bear.
Oh, Jamie Lee?
Yes.
Yes, no, for Donna.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Donna is just amazing, but she got up, and I like this. I didn't hear her say this, but I read it. She got up and told the crowd in her acceptance speech, she said, folks, hurt people. But I also think you can add to that and say, help people.
Oh, smart.
So I was like, wow, I was blown away that hurt people. But helped people.
Can confirm.
Help people.
I think that's a great.
I thought that was great.
That's our group
I
tattoo.
can definitely confirm that the hurt people can and will hurt people.
Yeah, because oftentimes it gets made into you for no pun
Yeah,
intended.
normalized.
It's a
That's
learned thing, and then that's all you know.
And you don't break the cycle. Right.
Unless you, and actually the other thing I heard somebody say, and I thought this is so fucking true, and I love it, is therapy is parenting for people who didn't have a parent.
Yeah. Or a bad parent.
I mean, that's the thing.
I guess it's-
that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, not having a bad parent is the same as not having a parent.
Yeah. And she said that's what essentially she thinks the story of The Bear is, and she relayed also that she watched the first season of The Bear and thought it was terrific, and she's like, oh my God, they're going to call me, they're going to have a role for me.
Nice.
And she just came up, and sure enough, they called to say, hey, we're looking, and we don't want anybody but you to come in and play this.
She manifested that shit.
And she manifested that.
Yeah, did she put that on social media at all?
I don't know. She just said she said it to herself that, you know, if she's going to be on the show, that's the one she wants, right? And she just felt like that it was going to have a role for her.
So good.
And she was friggin' brilliant.
Okay.
Sorry guys, I was a little distracted by hot girl.
Sad, but friggin' brilliant. And the show won for outstanding comic series.
Oh, geez.
I don't really.
I need to watch. It's on Hulu, right?
It's on Hulu.
I'll give it
And
a
it
shot.
can be rough, Tom. Just sort of brace yourself. There's a lot of yelling, but you can tell that people really love
Yeah.
each other, but they don't have it.
And that episode really shows why they're on the
So
trajectory.
it's a show about this
That's where they're
family
coming
that does a lot of yelling. I can relate to that.
That's what it feels like, and they just, as Mike just mentioned, when they get to that episode where they introduce her, you find out why the family is so dysfunctional. Because she's sort of at the top of it, right? And they all learn this from her and how to, I mean, so-and-so's messed up and can't show any confidence because mom, dragged her down when she was young.
The dysfunctional patriarch.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't know why. I'm talking to parents, I have to reach out to them and see if they've seen the show. I don't know. I will watch an episode or two of it and see if it grabs me or not. Typically, I'm okay with watching stuff on TV. I don't really get triggered too much about stuff like that.
And it's not hardcore. It's just very believable.
Yeah.
Everybody in it
Okay.
is very believable,
Yeah.
but it's not hardcore. There's nothing, you know what I mean? We've seen things, probably experienced things that are way worse than are on
So
the television.
you're not saying that after an episode you're like, okay, I need I need to be compressed on
I need
the watch.
fun.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I wanted to watch the next episode right after.
Yeah.
Okay.
And every time I'm like, that's really good TV.
Yeah.
Every single time I'm like,
Acting
that
is
good TV.
fantastic.
Yeah, because it's just believable.
Yeah.
I actually,
the show Angela Lansbury.
I was rewatching Clark Street the other day, and I realized today that I hadn't finished watching it. When I started rewatching it, it was toward the end. I'm like, oh, now I remember why I stopped watching it. Because it was, I don't know, you guys, have either of you seen the movie? So it's, right before it's done, and it was just like, right, that's why I stopped watching it. That last 20 minutes of the movie was really heavy, and it was really emotional, and
Just.
I actually had to go find something funny to watch.
Some of that was some of Kevin Smith's best work.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I commented on Brian O'Halloran's post about it. Said, man, thank you so much for doing this movie. I was not expecting to have any kind of emotional connection or reaction to anything that happened in the movie. You did a fantastic job. I love this movie. I'm going to buy it when it comes out. And he replied to me, and I got, as long as you can post on thanking me for the kind comment. And well, I'm glad he finally made this movie because I didn't say this, but I was thinking the last couple of Kevin Smith movies I watched were okay. They were funny.
They're funny,
They
they're not.
They weren't like this.
The yoga hosers and stuff.
Yoga
like
Hosers
that.
wasn't terrible. I mean,
It's fun.
It was fun. It was Clerks and Canada.
But it's not his best one.
It wasn't. And I think, honestly, his best movies have been when he was sober from the weed. He did movies that when he got into smoking weed, which wasn't until like 2008. Like when he did Zack and Miri, that was the first time he ever got high.
Oh, really?
And so he became a massive stoner after that, and like all his movies after that was just like, I can see where he's going with this, but it just didn't land for him. And I love his movies, but those were not his best. And then when he got sober from smoking weed, it went back to like the quality that was his original movies were.
Yeah. I'm going to be really curious to see what 4:30.
Oh, dude, I definitely want to see that. It's coming out soon, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's his skill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and the thing is,
He's
the
older.
clip I seen was to have his daughter's fiance, like one of the characters. And he's the one that played like the younger
Yeah.
Bob character.
The Elias,
Yeah. God, he's so funny in that. Especially when their NFTs
went below.
blew up. He sneaks.
So, I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, outstanding. The Bear, outstanding. Check it out, Todd, if you get a chance.
I'll check it out.
Speaking of fantastic actors that have been around a while, Kathy Bates has a new role. She's on TV. She's taking over Matlock.
I saw saw their teaser trailer for it, she's like, Matlock, you know, like the old TV show.
Yes, and at first I was like, Matlock, is she talking about the Andy Griffith Show? And sure enough, it's the Matlock. She's taking the title character, the gender
Swap.
I mean,
So it's okay, that is
Yeah.
but she's, I mean, one of the finest actors on the planet.
I think so.
I'd say without a doubt, she's incredible.
Yeah.
When she's challenged and, you know.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of goofy stuff too, but even like Waterboy, right? Is
Oh, no, that's
she's awesome. in
The
that.
devil. Foosball is the devil.
Oh my God.
But no, she, but yeah, in the teaser trailer, she actually is very meta. She's like, you know, like the old TV series. And people go, right?
That's
They have-
something, so, yeah.
They're
Not
running from
very-
86 to 95.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's doing it forever.
Yeah, so, I mean, Matlock was so long that it became part of pop culture so much that even The Simpsons made fun of it.
Yeah.
It was like Abraham Simpson was, Matlock!
Because it really was kind of a show for old folks.
So,
It's kind of like Murder, She Wrote with Angela Lansbury.
Because he started, I mean, he's early television. Early television.
He did westerns too, I think, didn't he?
Sure. And, yeah, just a lot of that down home stuff. He got pigeonholed into the down home.
Yeah.
But he does have, where he's like a mean or corrupt sheriff or something. I've seen him in a heel role before.
Really?
And it's kind of a zzz.
Speaking of heels, that coming to Netflix, the TV show Heels, it was a Stars.
It's about wrestling.
It's like a local wrestling thing. It was the guy from Arrow. It was like the main guy.
Okay.
So it's not.
So he can be shirtless.
documentary.
It's a
He's
picture.
shirtless as often as Mark Wahlberg is. So,
I mean, he is as frequently shirtless in this series as he was in Arrow. So, which was almost the beginning of every episode.
yeah. I mean, is he right? Is that a writer that he puts in?
Yeah.
Or that's a writer that they put in?
He goes up to him and goes, I'm really thinking this scene I should have a shirt.
I mean,
He doesn't do the workouts like he did in Arrow because he was doing the ladder thing where you have the peg and you're like climbing with it.
The American Ninja type shit.
Yes, he was doing that like every other episode on Arrow, but none of this. And I didn't think I was gonna like it because I like wrestling as a 20-something-year-old man. I haven't really followed wrestling in probably 25 years, but I watched like the first couple episodes and then I don't know what more did I found it on Stars. I couldn't really watch it all this.
Yeah. Geez, he probably either got a young lady or young man or just somebody that wants to see him with his shirt off.
Yes.
Right in front of it.
I think we need to change this first scene of
I think he met his wife when he was I think he met his wife during the filming of Arrow.
Oh, good for her. But Kathy Bates says that this is she's retiring after this role.
oh, geez.
Really? Okay.
She's 76.
Just
The Matlock.
yeah,
It's a weekly series. Premieres on the 23rd.
So now that she said that, she's going to be doing this for the next 10 years.
Yeah, probably. Right? I don't know how old Andy Griffith is.
He was, I think he was
a Vince attorney of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the like journalist, right? He gets them off. He uses his
Or like Elvis.
It's country guys.
country.
Did you guys ever watch that Elvis show? It was basically like she was an attorney that became like an investigator. It was actually, I think it was on, I can't remember. Elizabeth is in the show. I can't remember what network it's on.
You know the star.
She actually played a church. Hold on, I have to Google it right here. Elizabeth. Not Elizabeth, Elizabeth.
Oh, speaking of, the Agatha All Along, the Agatha Harkness series from spin-off of WandaVision.
Oh,
It's
when is that?
next week.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm terribly excited about that. I was thinking about that today. It's one of my favorite recent series.
Yeah.
WandaVision, just because it was
So
pretty
well done.
daring.
Yeah.
And she's one of she's not one of my top few favorite characters, actually. It's normally anyways, but
It's on CBS,
with that series.
so Paramount Plus has series. It's, says here, a steep but unconventional instrument, Elizabeth Castiglione, utilizes a particular point of view to make. So basically, it's like a gender swapped, Colombo, yeah. It's like Colombo. Exactly like Colombo.
Did they show you the murder at the beginning and then?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, show how things.
Elspeth? Elspeth. And the character's from another show, and it spun off. It's not technically a sequel series, but it's the same character.
Well, speaking of retiring, the 155-year-old Campbell Soup Company is retiring soon, at least the name. They're going to be the Campbell's Food Company, or just the Campbell's Company now.
Okay.
They're taking soup out of their name because they own so many other
Yeah, they're
brands. and stuff.
huge.
They own potato chip brands like Kettle Chips and Cape Cod Chips, sauce brands, Prego, Rouse, what is that?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it. Goldfish cracker.
There's the money right there.
Yeah, I mean, they're making hand over fist. And I don't know, is soup a big seller?
Oh, absolutely.
It's the younger crowd.
Yeah, but it's just
I still like my tomato soup.
I do, but I typically don't like it.
No, yeah, I find a better brand. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
just my was doing tuna casserole for a minute there.
Oh,
so
really?
doing like cream and mushroom. I'm not really a casserole guy.
Yeah, especially
But I bought a bunch of tuna during the, and I have for years, just to cycle through it.
Yeah.
Because it's something that, the cats can eat.
Right.
And if,
Yeah.
food goes down for
Right.
it, and it sits for mass.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Do you get this done with it?
Yeah,
I can't
I'm very
remember because
much
it flares up my gal.
Yeah.
The oils and the fish or so, it's just too rich or something. So I can't. But I used to love it. Throw it on some rye bread. It's so good. Mustard on there?
Mustard, black pepper, nearly the cornflakes.
What goes into your tuna salad? Egg noodles?
Yeah, egg noodles, peas, tuna, cream of mushroom,
Do you like
and
chocolate
sometimes
sour?
cracker.
Like a cracker crust?
Cracker crust.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I usually do Ritz crackers with that. It's Cadillac, my mom does that. She can do that on her mac and cheese.
Nice.
It's Cadillac.
Nice. Yeah. Everybody's good. The family makes fun of me because if I make mac and cheese, I'm putting
Yeah.
So I'm just dressing it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you do?
It's comfort food.
It's comfort.
Yeah.
I'm pacifying it.
Here's some, kale and
Yeah.
cilantro. Mac and cheese is a great idea.
No, it's just,
Yes, it
crunch
does.
on top.
It's so good.
Yeah. Boys, not that we should, look up too hard to like lead singers of bands and stuff.
Yeah.
And have them be our idols. But Dave Grohl
He's
always
always
seemed like such a decent, nice
Oh, no.
dude, right?
Yeah.
He announced that he has fathered a baby outside of his marriage.
So I started seeing videos about this a couple days ago, and this is the sound that everyone's using for their response to finding out.
Yeah.
And it's like-
he seemed like the one decent person.
I mean, he gets along with everybody.
Well, if his old lady divorces the shit out of him, I don't know what those circumstances are, right? I'm not gonna immediately jump to, it's a complicated fucking world.
Right, right.
So I don't know.
But then,
how that
we
would
look
be.
up at like guys like David Lee Roth and fucking Vince Neil.
I don't know if I've ever looked up to those guys.
Well, just is like the same way, we look up at a band, like
Yeah, well, that's-
they're our heroes,
that's
right?
Rockstar.
And I'm like, am I really that invested? I'm not, but it was disappointing. I'm not invested in Dave Grohl's life, right?
Yeah.
But this,
But we
for
will
some
take
reason,
sponsorship,
he
bro.
did
he didn't come across as that superstar, rock star, kind of like.
And just a decent guy.
Sex, drugs, and rock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would see him more as a normal dude than I would like Gene Simmons.
Yes.
Yes.
And the
Somebody
fact-
you can hang out with and have a
Yes.
And I would totally expect Gene Simmons to have many.
Oh, I'm
many,
sure.
and he does.
Well, I don't know.
Well, he's been married to,
Yeah, fuck me.
He's only been married to for like 10 years now.
was that it?
Yeah.
They've been married since the 80s or something.
No, he's been since he had his reality show.
I
At the
mean,
end of
his
the reality
tours
show when
were
they got
popular.
married.
Oh, but they had kids.
They've been together since the 80s, but they were not married until the end of that series.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I mean, if she is mad about it, then shame on Dave.
Yeah.
If she's not mad about it, they had some deal where she didn't want to have a kid or whatever, I don't know. So, it's not like he can't just throw money at everybody real quick to put the fire. I mean, he
But
can
he-
smother most fires with enough money.
And he has
Just
come
drop
out and
money.
said that he's gonna be a loving and supportive and doting father to this baby, which is the most important thing.
So this is a brand new baby, just got born?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not some
But he's in his-
30-year-old kid.
He's in his mid-50s right now?
Oh, he's 55 or something.
Yeah.
Who's the mom? Let's see.
I
Maybe
don't
it's
know.
no, I didn't see Hillary Clinton on it. In a minute.
Yeah, I think her baby making factor is shut down for several
Hey,
seconds.
survey, survey.
Yeah, who could it be? Who could it be?
Oh, man. Yeah, you know, and, yeah, I mean, you think about the wife that's sort of straddled with this now, because now she's got a forever.
Either stand by her man or not,
Yeah.
right? It's like,
Now, that's their choices to make, and I don't know why I feel invested in this, but I'm sort of disappointed in her.
And at the same token, we don't know what their dynamic is.
We don't.
Maybe he's polyamorous and they are okay with it and it just came out.
Just don't get anybody pregnant and don't bring any diseases.
that's kind of generally the deal.
I mean, maybe
Yeah,
just
I
add
don't know.
2 or 3 more people.
I'm not gonna jump to conclusions though, because it's a combination.
It is.
And it's not like, he's not being charged with like,
No,
I don't know,
no, it's not
something,
like
right?
he's-
It's like,
And it doesn't sound like he's avoiding responsibility either. So
No.
if anything, he's doing the right thing by announcing this. And like, hey, I'm gonna take care of this woman and my new child. So yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
It's gonna be awkward at the family reunion. Christmas time.
Yeah, I have no
But the
idea
thing is-
who his old lady is.
At the same time, maybe his family was like, oh my God, there's a new addition to the family. We have a new brother. Kind of thing.
I think they've been married for 20-something years.
Do they have kids?
Early, they got 3 kids, like 18, 15, and 10 or something like that. So, I mean, it's just, yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna become less involved in it, but when I read it, I was like, oh, fuck me.
You know who doesn't have it out? Wait, no, I was gonna say Chrissy Hine. Yeah, I'm like, why does he have to play before this guy?
It's a given if you're a rock star that you're gonna be fucking around.
Maybe Robert Plant. That's it. Remember Robert Plant? Or am I thinking something else?
Robert Plant.
I think he
was.
absolutely
Yeah.
fucked around.
Yeah, but maybe not, man.
Back in the 70s, come on now.
We all know Jimmy Page was dating 14-year-olds and shit.
Oh, man, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, not a big deal, I get it. But just sort of like, they always just seem like a big deal.
I don't think he's not a good guy. I mean, the fact that he was open about it actually told us something.
He really did just break his family's hearts, right?
Yeah,
That would put him in the heel category, right? To some degree.
His
It's like,
wife is like, you gotta go out and tell, you gotta wear this sign.
hey, she's gonna have a Will Smith slap him.
If it was like a TMZ thing where they figured it out and he's not like wanting to talk about it, that's when I'd be like, yo, fuck Dave Grohl. But
No,
he
it's
came out and said, yes, I'm fathered out of wedlock. And yeah, okay, cool. At least you admit it and you're taking care of this woman and her child. So yeah, I don't care. You know, if your wife believes you, then we all know why, but still,
Man.
be able to do.
I don't know, but speaking of Dave's, Dave Bautista, Drax himself, there was a picture of him recently. He was at some event, and looks like he's lost a ton of weight.
Yeah, oh yeah,
And,
that's what I'm talking about. yeah.
Still look good.
Yeah, he's 240, dude.
Yeah.
He's not emaciated. But when he was in,
What was
Knock
he
at the
up to?
Door,
Yeah.
he was like 310.
Jesus. Oh,
And so he lost, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, no, he's fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 240, he's not, I mean, I think he's 6.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he doesn't look like a wrestler anymore.
No.
Yeah, how tall is he? Because
He's
240
like,
is
he's
not.
like, he's like 6 something. The
6'3".
one time I went to a WWE event, he walked right past me, and he was a massive dude.
But that kind of bulk is very costly to keep on.
Yes.
It takes a lot of time
And
and
work.
mass,
Yeah.
calories,
He
mass.
kind of looks like a RuPaul without makeup, honestly.
10,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying that as a negative, I'm just saying.
No, and it might be, because I know this happens
Yeah,
with
that's
like
fair.
offensive linemen, defensive football, professional football. Because those guys have to bulk up because you need the big uglies up front, right?
Yeah.
So these guys got these guys that are like 6'6", 6'4", 320 pounds, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's no way to, after football, you know, if you want to live a long life, you got to shed that weight.
Oh, sure, sure. And don't forget, they're still exercising mats.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
they're all, their innards are doing
Yeah.
great, you know what I mean? It's like,
The heart's pumping and all that
I mean,
stuff.
once you get the visceral fats and shit, man, it does.
Yeah.
It takes.
So, I mean,
Basic.
people are weirded out by it, everybody's up in arms, but it's like, I don't know, I think as long as he's healthy and feels good about where he's at,
Yeah.
it's probably fine.
Yeah, 300 pounds is beef.
Yeah.
Beef. And I bet during the drag season, it's something like that too, when you buy it. Like an extra 50 pounds of just meat.
Yeah.
If you had 50 pounds of ground beef and you slapped it onto
Yeah.
Dave Batista,
Yeah.
what stage of his life is that? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, I checked my weight just a couple days ago. I'm down to like 292.
That'll be,
and actually more, because it's not 20% fat, right? That's a cow, that's not Dave Batista. He's
Yeah.
much more stringy than,
It was one of those things.
yeah,
Where
that's a lot.
I
That's a lot of
was
beef.
getting dressed and I looked down. I could see my feet. Like, holy shit! I can actually see my feet.
No, man.
And I'm like, oh, that's when I decided to check my weight to see where I was. And like, I'm under 300 pounds. So yeah.
Nice. Speaking of Marvel, guys, Marvel Studios has confirmed that the upcoming Avengers Secret Wars is going to end the multiverse saga,
Yeah.
which is happening right now, which, you know, the Infinity Saga was, you know, from the beginning, 2008's Iron Man, all the way up through Far From Home, or something, Spider-Man's Far From Home.
Yeah.
Was the Infinity
That was like
Saga.
phase 1 and 2, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that. So, multiverse for me, it's like, we talked about this on the show, I just think it's sort of been overdone. I know there's a lot of good storylines that you can do.
I think they didn't do the right stories for the multiverse.
Yeah.
I think the stories we got were not it.
I mean, they still made a shit ton of money on those movies, and there was good movies in there, but it's, for a while there, it seemed like the MCU been doing it all, right?
Yeah.
Every movie.
Those last 3 or 4 were alright, but they weren't like,
I mean, they're still good, and they're still Marvel movies, and I'm
but
still.
they just didn't feel like they did.
I think we gotta get some of those.
Was the Eternals?
But I think Loki is some of the
That was
best Marvel stuff ever.
Yes.
The Eternals was
Oh, yeah, I forgot about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as like the Marvel movies, the worst ones are Thor 2, and then Age of Ultron. Those were both not great. And then Eternals was like, okay, we're here to make sure that those movies are terrible or better. Rather.
Age of Ultron has moments of brilliant stuff.
I thought that.
Absolutely. His last stand against Vision is incredible. It's incredible. And it says a lot about Vision. It's really a
It
good.
was the third act was the best part of that movie. But overall, I thought the movie could have been so much better.
He did, he was not the villain that, it didn't expand.
I-
That would have been a way better, like, early villain, right?
I liked Spader as Ultron, but there was something about the character that
During his initial introduction as Ultron, where they're at partying and living large and he crumbles out of the wall, it's a really good scene.
Yeah.
It's a really good
the
scene.
whole reference to like Pinocchio and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, that's what
Geez, boys, another themed popcorn, and I don't know if we've gone too far with these. I haven't watched any of these, but have you guys seen the Terrifier movie series about?
I know of it. It's like this weird looking clown.
Goes around and just smashes people's heads and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know what he does.
Just a horror movie, but people swear by him. Say they're
Black and
really-
white clown.
Yeah, they made a lot of money, but there's a Terrifier 3 coming out in theaters in early October or mid-October, and they've got a popcorn bucket for the Terrifier 3. And it's basically just the clown's head, but it's got like Christmas stuff around, like Christmas lights or something around. I don't know if they light up or anything, but
I also think you could make him like a.
probably.
Yeah, I've never seen it, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's a slasher type.
I think so, but I think they go.
It's like a psychological thriller, I think.
Yeah, and I think they go hardcore on it. And they outfit
So-
like
so
from
like
1 to 2 is outdone.
Like Texas Chainsaw movie.
Probably. Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw scared the shit
I just,
out of me.
I just know I've seen like animated gifs of that clown. He's like this black and white clown with like this really expressive face. He's either super creepy, like smiling, or he's like terrifyingly creepy.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think in the first movie, because it was a low budget thing and nobody's thought it would do okay, but nobody expected it to make millions and did. And the guy got paid like $500 a week. It was something stupid. I'd have to reread the article, but I just remember he didn't get paid shit to be in it, and he created this
Yeah.
persona, right? And was the reason probably for its
It's
success,
sex,
right?
yeah.
That's like
Partly.
Partly at
Yeah.
least.
But the producer's like, no.
it's like Daniel Jones got paid. He literally got paid $1,000 to voice Vader in the first movie.
Yeah, but they would spend all that money on the Death Star.
Yeah.
Right, all the models and all the, oh my God.
What's the new thing with the Death Star?
And they didn't have
500
money.
people. It's like,
Oh yeah, actually, I posted.
where's the curve on the Death Star?
What's just funny? I posted that, and it was a photo saying this is proving that the Death Star is flat, and it shows the behind the scenes photo of the set on the soundstage, and it shows the camera moving across it where the corridor was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that high budget of a film,
No.
right? Compared to like Lawrence of Arabia, Cleopatra,
Yeah,
those
no
movies.
special
Oh,
effects.
yeah. But there was a bunch of people really loved the idea of doing that. And,
And he didn't get a lot of money from the cities, right? He's like,
I
this
believe that,
movie.
yeah.
They were kind of like, all right, we'll give you a little bit.
Yeah, this is THX 113 under your belt. Why would we just give you,
Here's 50 million.
not a chance?
No,
Not a
that's-
chance. They're like, you're high.
The studio didn't think it was going to make any money, so it's like, hey, if you give me more money, then can I at least have the rights to the merchandise?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, whatever. You're not going to make any money.
What are you talking about?
He
Bird?
didn't really take any salary or anything, right?
I don't remember if he took money or not, but I just know
Not a
that.
high salary.
Yeah, but he.
Land Gator? There's a pizza party.
There is another TV series on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us. And I think you see
I
that.
have seen that.
Season 1 had Star Wars, and they talked about how they didn't have time to make the toys for the Christmas season that year.
It's a digit card.
So they had the IOU cards for your Star Wars characters. So you got them, like, legitimately got your Star Wars characters in May of the following year.
Was it May? I was going to ask you if you knew it.
I'm pretty sure
Where were
it was
those made?
Kennerville.
Yeah, but were those made in the US, you think, or?
I-
Is that the 70s? I could kind of see that.
I think
Still, we didn't
Kenner
know.
Kentucky, so they probably had like manufacturing here in the
Yeah.
States.
I don't have any of those intact.
I don't
I
either.
had gaggles, it seems like.
I got Boba Fett, and maybe a couple of others.
I had, he was my favorite action figure. So Boba Fett, the first version of Luke and Vader were like my absolute favorite action figure. And then I got the Boba Fett ship, which back then was still called Phase One.
It's the coolest shit.
It's not called that anymore, but yeah.
Yeah. I had, Mom got me the X-Wing, Luke's X-Wing, and then I had a a smattering of the main characters, right? Vader, a stormtrooper, the dude, the Death Star officer, guy with the crazy helmet. And then my buddy, who was only a year older than me, one day decided he was outgrown it all. And he was like, yeah, I think about selling them. I'm like, well, I'll buy it from you. How much do you want? He's like, I like $20, right? And this kid had everything. He had the Death Star playset, he had the Millennium Falcon, he had both the Vader TIE Fighter and the regular TIE Fighter. I mean, just had everything. He probably had like 20 or 30.
The Vader TIE Fighter is shit.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't have the Vader TIE Fighter, but I had the standard TIE Fighter, and I
It's
had.
straight up.
Yeah, and then I had Millennium Falcon, and then I had Slave One. Those are the only ships that I had.
Okay.
But the wings would blow off if you pressed a button on the TIE
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the parents got together and I was like, yeah, I'll talk to my mom, I'll do extra chores, whatever, I'll get $20. And then the moms sort of talked and they're like, well, we're not gonna charge your friend money for it. If you don't want them, just give them to him. And I was, got all these Star Wars. But then the kid came over to my house and we played Star Wars.
That's even better.
It was great. And it's like, holy shit. And now I wish I had it. Like a box like that, just because I have all the ships and stuff.
I had a box from Empire.
Nice.
The Bounty
I had Boss.
Dozier, the Bounty Hunter, and Hammerhead.
Hammerhead. And the little guy, what was the little dude? Was that
I can't remember now. Yeah, I think it might
You talking about the little rat guy?
Or yeah, he's got a
Yeah.
snaggletooth type
He's
thing.
got the little snaggle.
Yeah.
He plays the shorty guy.
I had all those. I had all the Bounty Hunter shit.
Yeah.
I had the Vader bust carrying case for your action figures.
You did not.
I did.
That's some Cadillac shit, bro.
I got Bailey the reproduction one of those when it came out back in the 90s or
Yeah. When they started making Star Wars.
Yeah.
When all the Star Wars action figures looked like He-Man figures. They all had like the barrel chest.
No, it was like, because this was all the figures from the prequels.
No, that's what I'm talking about. The ones that came, they reissued the 90s or mid-90s, before the movies came out again.
It was the Power of the Force figures.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And they all had like the He-Man. They weren't the same size as He-Man figures, but they all had like fucking ripped
Like
body.
Skywalker's got this massive.
And weren't He-Man originally, didn't we talk about this on the show? Gonna be Conan the Barbarian. Conan merch for kids, because that's a kid's movie.
My God, we're gonna have a toy and stuff.
Oh, man.
Let me see. You should go check out the toys that gave us on Netflix.
I've watched most of them. So.
There's 2 seasons. Season 3 is supposed to be coming out sometime this year, so maybe.
It's a fun series. It's a walk down memory.
Yeah, you have this history on the characters and how they made the toys and what went into making them. And I wasn't interested in Barbie movie, but I watched that episode and I was like, holy crap, there was so much cool stuff on that.
Yeah, how some things have left.
The origins of the character and how it evolved and how other toys kind of influenced what it did next.
Jeez. Well, in my final story for this week, guys, and I didn't send this to you because I just heard about it. John Bon Jovi himself, Slippery When Wet John Bon Jovi, actually was filming a music video down in Nashville. He was walking across the bridge with somebody on his team, I don't know if it was a producer or something, and they noticed a woman that was on the bridge. She was on the other side of the guardrail, like she was going to jump into the river. And so Bon Jovi and this lady approach her very carefully. Just, hey, how's it going? You can't hear what they're saying because the camera's far away. It's like a surveillance camera. But you can see him sort of just leaning on the thing and just chatting with her. And then the lady kind of gets closer. And she's like, patting the lady on the back. And after a few minutes, they help bring her back over to the thing. We don't know what the woman was going through. We don't know if she was, cry for help, if she was really suicidal.
Jeez,
what the
well,
deal was.
I'm glad that ended like it
But
did.
holy crap, it's, Bon Jovi shows up.
Oh, what a guy.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was like sing one of his songs to her.
Yeah, they're halfway there.
Oh, no.
Living on
But even after they, bring her to the other side and Bon Jovi comes over and Gives her a big hug.
Yeah, oh, that's sweet.
I'll give you tickets to my next show if you don't go.
Yeah, yeah. Just, good, feel good.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, good thing you was there.
Yeah, hang in there, lady. Hang in there.
Boys, Sharon is Karen. What
Sharon is Karen?
Sharon is Karen. That's how you say it.
Yeah.
What have you guys been up to this week? Any new shows, books, movies, restaurants?
I listened to a funny thing.
What'd you listen to?
Two flat earthers kidnap a Freemason. It's a comedy podcast. You guys will laugh. You'll
All
laugh.
right, two
You will
flat earthers kidnap a
Yes.
Freemason.
Yes.
Is this like a series or? Is
Yeah. I think it might be 9 or 10 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll laugh.
Is it just, is it story based?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a narrative and all that stuff.
Basically, if we were conspiracy hacks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
Nice. I've been listening to the one you recommended last week, Chinook.
Chinook's pretty good.
And I like it. I think I've got it figured out what's happening and stuff, but you're right, there did feel like there might have been some supernatural stuff in the beginning, but that's sort of.
They explain that.
Yeah.
So, once they get there,
Yeah.
I
I
did too.
particularly liked, there was an episode, I think it was on like 7, so it was probably 2 or 3 episodes ago, where the main FBI agent character, who's a recognizable actor,
Yeah.
but she's talking about how when you walk into one of these super churches, these mega churches, how they do, right? It's like, oh, well, they'll automatically see you in the parking lot, notice that you haven't been there before, so they'll send so-and-so over to chat with you and pull you aside. And then once they see, these guys see you, then they'll come over and they'll start offering you coffee, isolated, and they'll try to figure out who you are. And she does it so well, but she's rambling. And then this happens, and then that happens, and then they'll find you a place to sit, and they'll put you next to somebody that can, they try to figure out who you are, and give you pamphlets and all this stuff. And it was just fascinating the way she talks about how, and I kind of feel like that's how mega churches would be when you walk in, right? It's like, oh, we're on the welcoming committee. What are
They use tactics that
These tactics,
promise the best
yes.
results, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So, good series, Mike. Thanks for recommending.
I really do.
Yeah.
Well,
And the guy, remember Better Call Saul Howard?
Yes.
The guy from
Yeah.
the preacher or the pastor.
Is that him?
I don't know, but it sounds just like
I
him.
guess he kind of does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got that Midwestern, well, there's a few people that have that sort of.
I enjoy that.
I actually watched this early this morning, or early last night. It's a movie on Netflix called Rebel Ridge. And it's about a former
we talked
Marine.
about that. Yeah.
Former Marine who confronts corruption in a small town. The local law enforcement unjustly seizes a bag of cash he needs to post bail for his cousin.
Yeah, we talked about that on Netflix. Last month.
Yeah.
Don Johnson.
Yeah. And it felt, it's not exactly the same, but it has the same kind of vibe as that Dwayne Johnson movie where he's like
Walking tall.
Walking Tall,
Yeah.
just like that.
From the previews and the description, we were talking, thought it might be like First Blood,
Okay.
like Rambo First Blood.
Yeah, not so much. I mean, it's,
But he's not blowing.
he's not boy. He actually, he's like a martial arts instructor. He like takes down like 5 guys without hurting anybody.
Right.
And,
Because Rambo, the body count's pretty high.
Yeah.
And he could have done a high body count, right? He did like non-lethal everything. He would like disarm people, pop all the bullets out of the gun, and hand it back to the empty.
So nice. So good.
Yeah, I watched it. And I was like,
What kind of a rating would you give?
I really liked it, so I gave it the 2 thumbs up. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. And that's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I'm watching a lot of it.
How was Don Johnson?
He was smarmy. I didn't like him in this.
He's been playing kind of
Yeah.
really smart.
Yeah, and Watchmen, the
Watchmen.
series Watchmen, yeah,
There's
it's
a couple
good.
of those where he's
Yeah.
been kind of the bad guy.
I almost expected to hear his music played throughout the
Shango and Shane.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
But you see this guy like totally like work on these law enforcement guys. We're all like a bunch of stereotypical good old boys who, bullies with the bad.
Where does it take place?
It's in the South.
It's in the South.
Yeah.
Just some good old boys.
All these guys meant all these
Yeah,
hard.
and then lots of hearts.
So in the opening sequence
Lots of heart.
of this movie, he's riding his bike into town in a 10-speed or like a mountain bike, and he's got headphones and he's listening to not Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. This is Iron Maiden, and he's like jamming out to this, and he's right, and you can see behind him like the police lights in the car going like this, and the car finally comes up and does one of these and just bumps him. Basically, checks his car and passes him off his bike. Pulls the gun on the guy and is trying to arrest for greeting. What are you talking about? I didn't even know you were behind me. I was in there the past mile and a half. Lights flaring, lights and sounds going up. He had heavy metal in his ears. He couldn't hear shit. So, yeah.
Boys, we went to Denver this past
Oh,
weekend.
yeah.
How was that?
And whose house did you visit?
Whose house?
Did you?
The Morgan Mindy house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an actual house in Denver?
That's in Boulder, Colorado.
That's
Posted it on our Facebook page. Go check it out.
Well,
But it shows up in the opening credits, at least in early episodes when the Jeep pulls up and Mork is upside down and his feet are over the roll bar and stuff. It's the house. It doesn't, it maybe changed a little bit, maybe the paint's a little different, but it was the house, and I was like, wow. So, and it's unassuming, so it's not like the Goonies house where it's like a mecca where people go.
Yeah.
It just is on the street. People live there. There's no signs, nothing like that. And I just walked up and it's there, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Took a picture from that angle. Took a picture from that angle. Did a selfie. So that was pretty cool. We took a ride out to Boulder on Saturday morning, late morning, and only hung out really in, I think it's called the, I can't remember, but there's a outside little shop area, and it's closed off, and they've got street musicians and restaurants and cafes and coffee shops and record stores and clothing stores, all that stuff. And the girls were like, well, we're going to go look at some of these shops. I'm like, I'm going to go check out the more.
Right on.
And I had to walk like 3 or 4 blocks.
I bet they were great. Their decision.
Yeah. They
You can have the entirety of Morgan Mindy's on TV.
nice. Yeah.
Did you have you like Morgan?
Boulder was fine. We just didn't have. It just felt like the whole trip we didn't have enough time for anything. So we got there sort of later afternoon. On Friday, got stuck in traffic coming into downtown Denver because there was some country concert at the baseball stadium, which is right downtown Denver. So we got stuck waiting, cops there directing people running across the street. So it took forever to get to the hotel, and then it was like dinner, and then it's like, well, it's like 6:30 at night, it's getting dark, what do we want to do? And it's like, well, let's just go walk around. So the girls got scooters, the little line bike scooters, and were bombing around, and I was just on foot taking pictures, and we ran all around downtown Denver at night, which was fun. We went over to the Denver Museum of Art. They had a bunch of cool sculptures outside, lots of parks. The state capitol's there, so we went over to the Capitol. There's a staircase that has one of the stair rungs says mile high, so it's supposed to be where the mile is.
That's great.
There, so it works out as the photo opportunity. Yeah, and then we went to a cool ice cream place and chatted with the kids that were there. They were just funny young people working the store.
Now my question is, are there dispensaries in Denver, like there is Starbucks here in Seattle, like on every other
I mean,
block?
it's no more than there is here, dispensary wise. So,
Isn't that the first state that?
I think so.
I would have thought there was going to be like dispensaries in every other block.
and then Saturday night we did a concert, and Red Rocks is friggin' amazing place to see
Nice.
the show.
So what'd you see?
Brandy Carlisle with the Denver Symphony.
Oh,
And she had a gal named Katie Pruitt, come out. She's got a new album out, but she's also kind of a folksy Americana. But all of her songs are about her coming out and first love and dealing with her parents. And she grew up a Catholic girl who was different because she was gay. And she felt like she was didn't belong anywhere. So most of her songs sort of center around that. But there was a lot of talk because there was a lot of queer people in the audience, of course, because Brandi Carlile is sort of a
Gay icon?
gay icon, lesbian icon kind of a thing. But it felt good because the message was good, right? It was like, this is a place for acceptance, right? You're here. And she's like, I grew up thinking I was way different. I was never going to be accepted. And then I come here to fucking Red Rocks. And these are my people, right? And you got 10,000 screaming people giving her, props for it, which was cool. So
That was at Pruitt or?
that was Pruitt, and then also Brandi coming out and doing her thing. So she came out and she did a few songs just by herself. She brought Katie out to do some numbers, but it was kind of a retrospective of Brandi's whole career. She's got like 8 or 9 albums.
Really?
Thousands.
I've never heard of until I saw her like perform on SNL last year.
No, nice. Yeah, she's got.
She's got her brother still with her?
Yeah, the twins are still there. They performed, and they have a new album coming out. So she had them do a song from their new album, just by themselves and stuff. The symphony was cool.
Yeah.
But the thing about Brandi in the show was, you could tell she was nervous because she's playing Red Rocks, right? It's an iconic place to play. But you can also tell she had so much joy of being there. You just see it and hear it in her voice and just all that stuff. And people were
I think
laughing.
that's right, yeah.
It was just, it was a fun show. And it's really a cool venue. If you're going to go, I recommend getting some kind of a pad because you're basically on wood benches.
They actually, the South Park did their 25th anniversary.
Oh, really?
There. And it was basically a concert. It was all music from the show.
Nice.
And a couple of songs from some of the other projects that they did, like America. But no, that's on Paramount Plus. If you've not seen it, I recommend it because you all did. The only thing I don't think we did was we didn't do any of the chef song.
Okay.
Because I just no longer. Oh no, I just not learned it.
Yeah.
And you can't.
The sound quality there, bouncing off of those ancient, rocks and stuff, was magnificent. It rained for like 12 seconds.
Nice.
Which was great. It was just enough.
Took the dust
But
out.
the breeze was up, and it was a warm night,
Did you have
and
a
the
blanket?
stars were out. We didn't have a blanket.
How would you compare it to the Gorge?
I haven't seen the Gorge. I've
You
been
never did? Oh wow. I love.
I mean, I've been to the Gorge, but I haven't seen a show there.
Oh, okay. I've been to two shows at the Gorge in both times. It was just fucking amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's because you're looking at the stage, and the stage, is down below. And you've got the rocks on either side, but in the background, you've got tons of city lights. You can see Denver way off in the background.
Oh,
So you got all the twinkling, and then you look up, and there's just so many stars and stuff in the night sky. So it was just, it was a really neat experience.
So you didn't know you have them close to Denver, is it?
It's only about a half an hour outside of Denver.
That's not bad.
Traveling. Yeah.
Is it kind of country if you drive 30 minutes outside of Denver?
There's areas of and it feels a lot like Yakima. You drove through Colorado.
Yeah.
There's parts that are just like barren and just feel good. It's like a nice place.
Like Spokane.
Yeah, come on.
Or like Spokane.
Yeah.
No, Spokane's just rough. I think Spokane might be on like a native burial ground or something. It's just rough.
The last couple times I've been out there, where we were staying was just outside of Spokane. It's closer to the airport than it was Spokane proper. And it's like just one giant strip mall. Huge tracts of land with like huge parking lots and a Walmart down a block or two, and there's all these little small places in this giant parking lot.
And another funny thing is getting to the airport. I bought a poster. The poster is amazing. It was a cool picture that they did of Red Rocks and the big moon rising. So I gotta have that poster. And then getting to the airport, when you buy the poster, they give you a free cardboard tube for it. And at the airport, you're like, oh look, they went to the concert. Because everybody had that friggin' tube, or they were carrying like a Katie Kruger or Carlisle album. You're like, hey.
Yeah.
And then on our plane, there was probably, we were all waiting in the thing, and there's always, we head back to Seattle, they all came down for the concert.
The other thing that I was really cool watching that concert for South Park is they projected like the kids up on the rock.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, they projected her, it's Brandi Carlisle's name, but it's in her signature, whatever, the marketing signature.
Yeah.
They projected that on the rock. Yeah, the one thing we didn't get to do in Denver, and I did look it up to see how you could do it, was go to Casa Bonita. I tried. The problem is
It's not
that it's open.
Oh, it is?
But you would have had to like a month ago put your name on a list.
Wow.
And what they would do is they would, if your name was on the list, they would go down the list and be like, oh, we have an opening on Saturday, 3 p.m. or whatever. You want it or no? And you got to make a choice.
And just weighing everything else around Casa Bonita.
Yeah.
It's like you have to make reservations for any of the restaurants in Disneyland.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just walk in.
But starting September 16th, I guess, is when you can start actually making reservations for open times rather than making a call. I missed it by so. But I went to the website. I'm like, how do I get tickets? Because it's like $30 a person, but that includes your dinner.
I want to see the documentary about the remodel.
When does that come out? Because it looks awesome.
I just saw a clip for it last week. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Is it a theme park or it's a show?
It's a restaurant.
It's a restaurant, but they have like puppeteers, they've got cliff divers,
Oh,
they've
they
got
really
mariachi bands that walk
crazy.
around.
Yeah.
It's just
If
everything.
you've seen that episode of South Park,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Insane. All right, all right.
So, and honestly, I didn't know that was a real place until
Yeah.
this year. I thought it was just a thing that they had in South Park.
Yeah,
Well, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, they bought that restaurant thinking, oh, it's up for sale, let's buy it, it's in disrepair. And they're like $4 million later, because they had to like redo
Oh,
the
yeah.
kitchen.
Oh.
In the preview, they show like opening up the HVAC vents, and they're just caked with years and years of just nasty.
Wait, what? You're supposed to clean those out?
Yeah, and they're looking at each other like, what the fuck did we do?
We're not
We
going
bought a restaurant?
to be open this early. No, we're not.
Yeah, because it took like 3 years or something, right?
I don't know. I just saw the trailer.
There wasn't the South Park guys who bought this.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
way.
someone bought this thing. Yeah.
Trey Parker.
Yeah.
Trey Parker messed up. Yeah, they bought it.
Wow. Well, that's nice of them. That's good.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't surprise me. That's like saying.
They have money, right?
Yeah, well, yeah,
I mean,
Comedy Central is giving them a lot of money, but it's like I always expect that Kevin Smith has at least a partnership with the Quick Stop. Like he owns part of it at least. I would hope anyway, because he's made $3 million using that place. I would imagine he would have bought it a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
He
I
bought
don't know
that-
when it came up for sale.
But yeah, I don't know. I just saw the trailer for the documentary there. I want to see it.
It looks fascinating.
It's gonna be on Paramount Plus, I'm sure.
Yeah. It looks fascinating.
Actually, I'll look right now and see what it.
I mean, they've been producing stuff together for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as a writing team or
Yeah.
duo or whatever they are. Oh my God.
And they've done everything like basketball and
Yeah.
I love that.
one and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And all
Orgasmo was my first introduction to those guys,
that.
and these like same guys do South Park. I have to check out South Park. But
Oh
that
my
movie
God.
was so goddamn funny. Oh my god. South Park.
Yeah. Jeez.
When you Casa Bonita.
Bonita.
Casa Bonita.
Well, that's a game. I'd say, who'd you fly with? And how was the flight?
Alaska. Flight down was fine. Flight back, I got pissy. So we get there, we get on board. We're one of the ones that get, and I bring one backpack, right? Because it's a weekend trip. I don't need a bunch of clothes. The girls did to check their bags. So basically, we had 2 backpacks between us. We get to our seat, and I'm like, all right, well, I want legroom under my seat. So I'm gonna put my backpack up in the thing, I put the backpack up there, I put the poster up there, And then all of a sudden, everybody, this is a full flight, so we're gonna need as much room in the overheads as we can get. And I'm like, well, fuck yeah. Right?
Three people, one bag.
Yeah.
3 people, your family group.
Right.
One bag.
One bag.
Yeah.
So, some guy's like, oh, just looking for something. And she goes, well, let me look. And she opens up the one button. She's like, whose backpack is this? This is mine. And she goes, oh, can we put that? I'm like, well, I want my leg room. Oh, we're running out of stuff. And I'm like, well, it's not not my fucking problem. So I'm like,
Maybe he should have got here before me.
right? So then she's like, pull my backpack. I'm like, okay, hold on, because my camera's in there, all the shit's in there. I'm like, all right, fine. So I pull that down, and I grab my poster, and I put it on her seat, and I'm pissed. And she goes, sir, you can put your backpack on. It wasn't like a big fucking suitcase. She wanted to clear my backpack so he could get his backpack. I'm like, you are not my fucking favorite person. I was pissed. Whole fucking flight home. I was pissed.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at her. I'm not talking to her. She's trying to give me snacks. I'm like, fuck this. Come on, dude.
That's a
Pissed. Pissed. Yeah.
Okay, so according to Google, it says the film so far was played on Tribeca Film Festival. It's going to be going to the Alamo Draft House in September 6th, and then rolls out to select theaters across the U.S.
Well, it's going to
And
be
it will stream on Paramount Plus this fall.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a fascinating documentary. Because if you like home improvement shows or renovation.
Oh, that's weird. I would think I'd ever be into that kind of stuff, but I actually did a number of home improvement type shows. Why is it so satisfying to watch? I don't understand it.
Well, because they go through the trials and tribulations and end up, being lucky and making it happen.
Well, I watched the Brady Bunch one where they crowdsourced everything. They were trying to find all the stuffed animals and the posters and all the decorations throughout the whole house, and lamps and everything, and they got fans to donate items if they had a replica of whatever, and or sell to them, whatever, but cool. And there was a few of the wallpapers that they had to reproduce. They had got a hold of people, I guess, who have the giant laser printer, and they printed out a huge section of wallpaper using that. They had someone actually recreate the design in high definition. Were printed on these things. So,
That's pretty cool. Well, holy shit, boys. Folks, because we're recording this before Gong Show, but you're going to get this after Gong Show, hope you went, and if you did, let us know what you thought.
comment below.
We had a good time. We're having a good time. Nothing else. So.
All right.
So let us know on that. We got our top 5 coming up. There was some controversy on this, Todd. I threw it back at you. Are you still okay with it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a total 5, but I do have I have 3.
Okay.
I
thought it'd be fun because she's retiring supposedly after Matlock, so we were going to do our top 5 Kathy Bates movies.
I wouldn't say
controversy.
I wouldn't say it was controversy. I haven't seen a lot of them. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, not controversy, but just I threw it back, said, hey, you got something better? That's what I could have cut.
Yeah, I didn't see your response.
No worries. We'll get through it, boys. So go to ourtownpodcast.com, sign up to be a member, and get this bonus content, or go to Patreon and look us up there and get this bonus content. It's only
all the links are on the website. You can find Patreon.
Well, ending on something positive, boys. This is from a song, lyrics from a song that Brandy Carlisle was a part of. It's actually the Highway or High Women, which is a play on the Highwaymen. But they had a song. It goes something like this: the door is always open. Your picture's on my wall. Everyone's a little broken, and everyone belongs. I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done.
Hey.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. Right on. Well, thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you next week. And hang in there.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, vlogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.